Hi, I'm Laura Burban. I'm from the Dan Cosgrove Animal Shelter in Branford, Connecticut, and Subaru came today to come through and see our new wonderful building after they donated us an amazing vehicle.
So Laura, a couple of years ago, you sat in my office and you told me about, as you were rescuing pets and animals and all that, how you always got the hand-me-down cars from the town of Branford. It's just kind of one of those things.
Yep.
And it really resonated with us because of what you do and what the shelter has done and all the pets that you save and the amazing stories that come out of here. So on behalf of the Premier Subaru team, we want you to go from worst to first to the nicest cars in the fleet in the town of Branford, and we're happy to present to you this Subaru Ascent.
Thank you so much. Yeah, really appreciated all of your time. You've always been so generous to sit down with me and talk about the needs of the shelter and always being there to be supportive. So we're so grateful to you. And this is going to help us for many, many years, just because you do know we go out in the snow and everything else. Yeah. And so these are the type of vehicles we always needed. So we're awesome. So grateful to you.
Yeah, well, we're grateful to you too. So
thank you.
Here's your keys to your new Ascent. Everybody, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right now we are in our new building. Our staff entrance was the old entrance, and we always only had one entrance to the shelter, which I always thought was an issue because as animal control officers we need to bring in animals that can sometimes be bloody or have things that they're carrying, and we didn't want to bring them in with the public. So now we do a read to the animals program, yoga with the animals, all kinds of stuff. And one of the other amazing things is the staff used to all sit up front. Obviously not like this, because this is beautiful, but we used to have a little tiny area and all the staff would sit there. So when they were conducting investigations of animal cruelty and things like that, they'd have to do it right in front of the general public. As you walk in, you can see our new cat adoption room is right there. So as people are entering the building, we have some makeshift stuff there right now, but we're actually having an art person design a sculpture for our cats to sit on and hang out on. We were fortunate. We raised about total about $1.8 million towards the building between construction and just all the normal cost, architect and stuff like that. So, and the town of Branford and North Branford funded the rest for us. The building cost almost $5 million. This is our critter room, and we can put anything in here from turtles, snakes, to parrots. We take in everything. So we're one of the only municipal shelters in the state that will take in any type of domesticated animal and house it. So we have a barn outside that we can now house sheep, goats, chickens, whatever needs it. And then off of our cat adoption room, we have a cat visiting room. Right now, Oscar is using it as his hotel, just because he prefers to be alone. And then we have, this is Leland. He too doesn't like the other cats. So every single room in this building is outfitted with its own intake and air outtake system so that we no longer contaminate other animals. So that's going to be a room for things like upper respiratory ringworm, and it will no longer spread throughout the building like it did in the past. All of these panels are acoustical paneling that were specifically designed to absorb more of the noise. And there's a lot of little things that are not done yet that we're going to be doing, sort of like keep the humans busy while they're in there looking at the animals, because humans tend to want to get right down in the dog's face, and that scares a lot of animals. It's actually threatening to them. So we want to give the animals at least a couple of seconds to evaluate you before you go right in their face. So we're continuing to design different things for this. I've been here 15 years, and when I came on board, we were considered one of the worst shelters in the state, and the community wanted to really change that. And so when I started asking community members, what is it that you're looking for? They wanted an education center. They wanted animals to go through a rehabilitation process. They wanted animals cared for like as if they were at home. And so we just started, me and the team just started really redeveloping everything. And we care for animals throughout the entire state. It makes no difference to us where they're from, and luckily our town supports us in that journey. So yeah, we're fortunate. Branford's been amazing for us here. This is one of our play yards out here. We conduct doggy play groups. So the dogs that are in there actually all play together out here. This is a doggy splash pad. It'll be the first that's in the state of Connecticut for a municipal shelter. So we have 2 play yards like this, and then we have a trail system that's going to be going out the back of the fence area over there. So people will be able to take dogs and walk for about a mile to get to know them. That little one that you just threw the toy in, he's flying to Washington on Friday. He's the one that's leaving, yeah. So he was from an abuse case. I don't know if she said that. So yeah, he was originally found in New Haven on someone's doorstep, and then New Haven wasn't open, so they brought him to us, and then we obviously took him to the vet, and they found all the stuff about how he was abused, and then we had his leg removed, and then he was adopted. The people who adopted him ended up dumping him at a shelter in Rhode Island, and we got notified because he's microchipped to us, and so they called us, so our staff member drove. He was like 4 hours from here. He was pretty far in, and she got him and brought him back, and then we have an adopter in Washington who basically rescues little abused dogs. So she has 20 of them. And she has amazing references, so she's gonna stay in Washington with him for 3 days. And then he'll be home.
This dog reminds me a lot of myself. Short, fat, with a big head.
Yeah, all of our animals come spayed, neutered, vaccinated, microchipped, heartworm tested, kind of all that stuff. Yeah, yeah, and donors subsidize that as well as the town of Branford. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for coming out. We appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And thank you.